The Flop Sweat Podcast.
Welcome back to Flop Sweat
It's Devin Gatto.
and Keegan Manning. This is our 4th episode.
We're so excited to be back.
Episode 4.
Yeah, we're in the studio today.
Dude, it's been great.
It's been a great day.
Yeah.
What'd you do this morning?
I got a haircut.
Beautiful. Looks great. Who tamed your locks?
I don't know her name.
Who's the great tamer? Dude, stop showing off. Oh my god. And look at Kim. Kim's flashing some signs on your shirt.
I was going to get... Oh, yeah. For our audio-only listeners, I'm wearing a shirt of Donald Trump kissing a baby.
He's wearing the shirt of the greatest fucking president ever, Kim Jong-un.
KJU?
And he's pissing on Kim Il-un's grave, his father. Or is that his grandfather? I don't know. Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Fuck the Uns.
Well, we're feeling good.
Mr. Un?
Uh,
Is that his last name? Yeah, Kim
Yeah.
Jong-un. Yeah.
yeah, family name.
That'd be funny. Mr. Un.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Yeah, 4th episode. We're feeling great about it. We're feeling pumped up.
Yeah, we wanted to start with a quote of the week. Do you have
Yeah.
any quote that really sticks with you?
Yeah. You had me at pumpkin spice. My mom just got that.
That's what she said?
No, she has this like it's a little picture frame, and it says, and it's not even a picture frame. It's like a little thing, and it says, "You had me at pumpkin spice," and I was like, "Oh, that's so cheesy, Mom. Why did you buy that?" She's like, "It was $5." She's like, "I had to."
Yeah.
And I was like, "But you're complaining about like spending money."
That's a great quote.
I know it is.
My quote is,
Yeah.
"Work hard, fuck hard," by Gandhi.
Gandhi.
Gandhi said that.
What if he did?
He did.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It was on
Sorry.
Clickhole. It's true.
One of his protests
Yeah.
when he was doing one of the strikes.
They asked him, they're like, Mahatma, tell us your
Mahatma.
secret. Mahatma, tell us your secrets.
What do you think about this day and age? What gets you through your day?
Work hard, fuck hard.
Oh my god. Write that down.
Dude, he must have been a beast in the bed. Does
must
Gandhi
have.
have kids?
He's got a fucking schlong. A bull knuckle.
Oh, yeah. He's got a hog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking bull moose.
Yeah.
Hung like a hot rhino.
Hung like a rhino. Man.
Gandhi, we're gonna get you on the podcast, buddy. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We want to hear this in his own words.
Is he dead?
Yeah. We'll dig him up.
Who killed him?
Say it, Gandhi! Just
Did he die of natural causes?
I think so. I want to say yes. I would hate to hear if he got assassinated or killed or something.
If he got his ass whooped. That's what I thought you were going to say. I'd hate to hear if he got his ass whooped.
It would make me sad if Gandhi got beat up. Imagine Gandhi in a bar. A huge bar
Fucking
fight.
get him! He wants peace!
What'd you say, motherfucker?
Some drunk trucker at a
He's
bar
like,
in
hey, no,
Minnesota.
guys, you don't have to fight. Who the fuck is this guy?
Get his fucking glasses off. Kick his ass.
Aren't you wearing jeans? This is fucking Indiana.
Gandhi in jeans.
Gandhi's like the new face of Levi.
Yeah. Doing commercials with Brett Favre.
They're jeans. I like them.
Work hard, fuck hard. Levi's.
Wranglers.
I wanted to tell a story. You told a life-changing story in our first podcast of the time you stole a car.
Yeah.
It
It was pretty, yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But
It was like the last temptation of Christ.
it should be in the Bible. Connor and blah, blah, blah.
It's the new book of the Bible. Texodus.
I had a life-changing experience. I went to an acting workshop called Beginnings Workshop, run by a guy named Peter Sklar.
Yeah. Peter Sklar.
And,
Shout out Pete. Shout out
no.
Sklar.
No,
No?
not
We
a
take
shout
it back. Pete, we're not shouting you out. Sorry, buddy.
So I went to this acting workshop. Let me preface it by saying this dude is a fucking Scientologist.
Yeah.
I
remember him coming to Glen Allen and like trying to recruit students.
So he would
Came out like Stephen Hawking in his
he
wheelchair.
would go to different high schools on the East Coast, and I believe in Canada as well, because there were Canadian students at the workshop. And he basically, like, if you're gonna recruit young actors for a workshop, there's a certain way to do it. Whether you audition them to see their talent, you have to, whether you have them do a scene or a monologue, whatever. this guy comes to our workshop. We hear all this interesting stuff.
Amazing things.
Yeah, and we're like, ooh, we're so excited.
Right.
So parents are in the room with kids that want to go to this workshop, and we are sitting in the room, and we have to audition for this workshop right there in the moment in the classroom while he's visiting us, and he comes in very smug, like very arrogant, like just the way he handles himself. And
he's talking about his diet. And I was like, fuck you.
And that will be a large player in the workshop later.
I heard about it. Yeah.
But he's sitting at this table and
I'm gassy.
is talking to us about his workshop. And then so the way that he auditioned us for this workshop was he didn't get us to do a monologue, but he was just talking about truth and was getting very introspective.
I am the truth.
So he basically would have he had all the parents leave the room, which was red flag number 1.
You can go.
Basically all the parents were like, oh, okay, they get their purse and they leave.
Are you okay, sweetie? No, I'm just gonna be out in the hall.
Yeah, and parents are like looking through the window. So his audition was, we come up to the table and he interviews us about our personal life. Mm-hmm. He asked very, very personal questions, very like,
quirky.
How is your relationship with your father? I mean, like what are your biggest fears? Like, just it seemed very, very unnecessary.
What keeps you up at night?
Yeah, and basically he said the only way that you would be, allowed to come to this workshop, he could tell if you were telling the truth or not.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yes.
So
he's like, I got an eye for the truth.
Yeah, there was a girl who was in our department and was interviewing for the workshop, and he was saying like, how's your relationship with your father? And she has a very rocky relationship with her father. Like her dad was addicted to drugs, I believe, and somebody else in her family had cancer.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I won't reveal like their name, but he basically made her reveal all this personal stuff in front of like other classmates.
Right.
And that was super sketchy, and that's exactly what Scientologists do to let you into the Church of Scientology. Is they audit you.
Right.
And an audit is, if anybody's ever seen the movie The Master with Joaquin Phoenix,
so good.
Directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, incredible movie.
Yeah.
It's based on like the origins of Scientology.
Right.
And there's an incredible scene where what's the actor's name?
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's character was interviewing Joaquin Phoenix and was saying like, asking him all these personal questions, and he couldn't blink during the whole interview. It was his audit.
Yeah.
And basically what the point of this is the Church of Scientology is supposed to dig up all this personal information, a lot of like dark trauma, to use against you if you ever try to leave the Church of Scientology. And so, we interview whatever, and then people get in to the workshop and we're like, oh my God, like that was it. Like, holy shit, we're in.
Right.
And then,
but I bet at the time, like revealing all those truths, I bet it felt so like, oh my God, this is acting. Like, we're doing it. Like, this is the method.
We're looking for the answer for why it works.
Right.
And he was a great bullshitter.
Of
Scientologists.
Course. Yeah. He's going to make you feel things.
Yeah. And, he had credentials. He had credentials like he worked at Harvard. He had once managed, I believe, Sarah Jessica Parker and Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, that's right. He was talking about
early in on their career.
Yes.
But it was like before they were stars. So he didn't like
he didn't make them stars.
He didn't book Legally Blonde for Reese Witherspoon. Like he just worked with her early on in her career.
Yeah.
So, but those were like his two biggest credits.
Right.
Having those names.
I want to interview them and see if they remember. Like,
I wonder.
Yeah.
It'd be very, very interesting.
Yeah, that would.
So flash forward to the workshop. We go. It's in New York. They market it like it's a New York City workshop. New York.
The New York.
Yeah, the Large Apple.
Okay.
And
just wanted to get that for. Yeah.
But the whole workshop was at a university in New Jersey called Rider University, I believe. which was right next to Princeton. So it wasn't in New York. The whole payoff of the
so it
workshop.
wasn't in New York.
The,
So that was a lie.
yeah. So much of his camp was, this whole thing was a fucking scam.
Did you even go to New York when you were there? Did you?
Yeah. So the big payoff was that at the end of the week, there's a bunch of different teachers and actors that have been working in the industry and could, help us craft our monologue for the end of the week, where we go to an off-Broadway theater
Right.
and perform our monologue for what we thought was casting directors and talent agents.
Right.
So that's like what we were looking forward to the entire week.
Yeah.
And 8 kids or however many people went to our school, got to go to the workshop. It's like $1,000 each. It was,
that's the only reason why I didn't do it.
Yeah, it's incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
I'm
glad I didn't.
But before you had to go, he sent a pamphlet of like all the requirements and like rules that we had to follow. But we signed away on
your rights.
We had to sign.
Oh yeah, didn't you have to give your phone away? Like all this crazy shit.
Scientologists are very against modern medicine,
right?
And they believe
they don't want you knowing the news, you're exposed,
And so like there was you couldn't bring any medicine. You like I have ADD, so I'm prescribed Vyvanse.
You couldn't take that there?
You couldn't bring medicine unless you had a doctor's note from your doctor that says if you don't take this medicine, you will die.
Right. So you couldn't take Vyvanse.
So I'll get to that in a second.
Oh, okay.
But girls couldn't bring birth control. It got even to the point where you couldn't even have contact lenses.
What the fuck?
He wanted, and
what does that have to do anything with acting though?
Exactly.
What is
so much of it? So much of it was so strict on the dumbest shit. Where I'm like, this isn't gonna make me a better actor. It's one thing to.
Oh, you need glasses? Just snaps.
Yeah,
some girl.
Exactly. People were like, but no. Well, people had to bring their glasses because they couldn't bring their contact lenses.
Right.
So people were, no makeup, like no meds, no birth control. Like also not healthy at all for girls to just stop taking birth control for a full week.
Yeah.
Like that'll
when they're on it, like
exactly, that'll fuck up your body.
Your system.
But we had to sign away on a document that says we agree to everything in this 200-page pamphlet. But we signed. So
did you even read it? No.
I mean, we had to read it, but it was
all 200 pages.
We signed away that we agreed to everything in the pamphlet before we got the pamphlet. So that's already a fucking scam.
Right.
So yeah, and then we get the pamphlet and we're like, okay, this is.
Were you at what point were you like, all right, this is
before I went to the workshop?
Okay. Like before you even went to New Jersey, before you got there?
Yeah, my parents were like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, we want you to go and get good acting training. My girlfriend at the time, too, was like, I don't want you to go to this.
Right.
And, but I still had to go because I was like.
Could you get a refund? No?
No.
Oh, wow.
I stayed the full week, but.
Right. And it was oh my God.
It's a week long, but it was no phones, which I didn't really have a problem with. Like I like kind of being unplugged.
Yeah, that's fine. Especially for acting, I feel like.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'll be distractions free for a week. That's fine.
Right.
But I like we couldn't even have our phones to like call our parents and like keep in touch with them with how it's going. And so, anyways, we get to the workshop.
How many kids?
I want to say like 75 to 100 kids. 8.
He
like
scammed that many people.
8 from our school.
Right.
We get there, we have to give them our bags, and then we go to our first like tour of the place. And while we're touring, they tell us that they go through our bags, thoroughly searching our bags for medicine, anything that we're trying to like sneak in.
What the fuck? I would like cram like an eighth of weed up my butt.
Yeah.
Just be like, fuck you.
I mean, they can't search your body. So that's essentially what I did. So this is why my mom is a fucking badass. I love my mom for this. She and I discussed a lot about like, do I get a doctor's, like, do I beg my doctor to write a note that says you'll die if you don't have Vyvanse?
Right.
Because if I'm not on my Vyvanse, I'm going to be super unfocused.
Right.
I have ADD. I want to be, lasered in, focused. If I'm you know, getting good education,
especially for $1,000.
Exactly. And I was like, Mom, like I mean, I could go a week without it, but like I don't want to. So what she did,
I need the pills.
She like took a day off of work to just brainstorm different ways of smuggling 7 like pills for me.
Just tape like a fuck ton
I came home. I'm like, oh, hey Mom, like what are you doing? And she's like, no. So I've got a few ideas. She had like a she had a thing of
She's
dental
got an
floss.
AK just laying on the table.
She's like, you can bring dental floss, right? And she goes, look, it's just dental floss. And she opened it and she squeezed the sides and thing popped out.
Wow.
And under it was 7 of my Vyvanse pills. And she put a thing of like foam in there. She's like, I put foam in there so it won't rattle. I'm like, who are you, Pablo Escobar? What the
holy
hell?
Shit. Mary.
She had a thing, a stick of deodorant. She's like, you can bring deodorant. And she opened it and then like screwed it up, like screwed it off the stick.
You can bring deodorant on a plane, right?
Yeah. And so she screwed it and it came off, and then there were 7 little pills in there. And then the option that we ended up going with was, I was like, you know, worst case scenario, they check my bag.
Right.
And for, I don't know, whatever reason, they find my dental floss or something and find it and then take my meds away or like send me home. So the option we went with was they're never going to check my underwear. Like that's the most personal place.
Right.
Is
Ew.
your pee-pee. So
pee-pee hole.
I didn't put it in my pee-pee, but I had to wear 2 pairs of underwear at all times.
Right.
And
you just had your pills.
So I'd like
just heating up in your fucking crotch.
Well, yeah. So it's like, you know, those like tiny little string bags with 2 strings on the side where you pull it and it squeezes
little
and tightens.
Pouch. Yes. Drawstring pouch.
She sewed that into the little dick flap of a pair of underwear, and in there had 7 little pills. And so she was like,
so funny.
She's like, when you like, you know, every day change your underwear or whatever, you put on a new clean pair of underwear, and then over top of that pair, put on this pair, and inside that will have your medication. And when you go to the bathroom in the morning, like you just take your meds.
Fuck, I got piss on my
So
pills.
that's literally what we did. And we still have the pair of underwear where it's like sewn into the...
That's hilarious.
But I was like, Mom, you're a fucking genius for that.
There's a flare gun in your underwear, Keegan. If you need anything,
you shoot that flare gun and I will send a unit to you.
We got 5 squadrons waiting at the beckon.
But the worst part of the workshop was the diet that they forced on us. So it was like an all vegan diet.
Ew,
and to put into perspective how horrible it was, it was
nothing ill against vegans. Sorry, I shouldn't have said
no,
that.
yeah, vegans,
I like vegan food.
Love you, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes. I was vegan for like 3 months, but
it's tough.
It's tough, yeah.
But it can change people's life.
No, my aunt, she had cancer, cured her cancer.
Yeah. And veganism is a great thing, but to force veganism on
a group of people for a week,
who are aspiring actors, and to tell them that you have to have this diet if you want to succeed is bullshit. Right. It's complete bullshit. And so
look at Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Is he vegan?
No. I was just saying, look at his diet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weed and crackers.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Cheez-Its. Who knows?
But to put into perspective how horrible the food was, we got cornbread. Cornbread.
I mean, it depends.
Cornbread was like ice cream to us. And I don't know. So, but like,
eat all your rations.
You weren't allowed to leave the table until you finished your meal. And you had like a supervisor per crew.
What the fuck?
And they would stand there over you and literally, like, there are kids that they don't eat the shit.
You missed a spot.
Like, they're used to a different diet. So people are throwing up.
Eat it.
Yeah, forcing it down our throat. People are throwing up the first morning
in the mess hall.
Yeah. Also at the end of each meal, they would bring out a tray of vitamins for everyone to take, and it was a big, like, grainy brown unlabeled pill that they told us was vitamins. And everybody, like, it blew my mind how people were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, what if
and just took these vitamins.
This reminds me of like Snowpiercer. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my god, you need to watch that.
I will.
It's so good. Like just like in Snowpiercer, they have these things called protein bricks, and it looks like just Jello, but it's like cut in it's like these black bricks, and they're gross looking. Well, like that's what the poor people in the back of the train eat, and I'm like,
but I was like, I'm
I'm
not
just
gonna,
told, yeah,
I'm not gonna take the fucking pill. So I would like fake it, and then I would slip it in my shoe,
Mhm.
and then when we would walk out, I would take it out of my shoe and throw it in the bush.
Right.
And I got a bunch of other kids to start doing that too. I'm like, I'm not gonna just take an unlabeled pill that they tell me is
Right. Show
is
me the
one
fucking
thing.
bottle.
Exactly.
That's so scary.
So kids are eating like these.
You done with your portions, boy.
People are throwing up because they're not on their medicine. They're being forced this crazy diet, and they can't.
What was dinner? Typically,
I mean, dinner was like
salad.
Well, there was a salad that you had to eat before each meal, and you wouldn't get your meal until you finish your salad. But I would sit in the corner because there was like a cafeteria.
Your salad.
And there was like a booth that we would sit in, and it was like right by a window, and on the window was an AC unit, and there was like a gap in between the AC unit and the window. So I would take like my tomato or whatever shit they would make, and I would just stick it in between the gap of the window and the AC unit.
Eat your fucking tomatoes.
And by the end of the week, there were probably like 25 tomatoes stuck up in there.
Just whole tomatoes.
Yeah.
Not even cut up.
But it was fucking
no,
rough.
like cherry tomatoes?
Yeah. And I was hungry. I was really, really hungry.
Yeah, you're so picky.
Yeah, and I'm so picky.
You only eat like cheese and bread.
But I mean, there were teachers there that were like, I mean, this great actor's name is Joseph Melendez. He played a villain on Ozark in season 1. He's a great guy.
Wow.
And he was one of the teachers there. He's one of the most loved teachers there because he taught like film acting.
Mm-hmm.
And
what did he think of? Did you guys like ask him?
Yeah, I mean, girls went to class crying because of how horrible the conditions were there.
Right.
And Peter Sklar didn't do jack shit about how people felt because he's like, well, you got to adjust if you want to succeed and lead a healthy lifestyle.
Fuck you.
And Joseph Melendez would like really listen to these people and be like, he goes, listen, he's like, I'll eat McDonald's like 3-4 times a month. He goes, and I just booked Ozark. He goes, he's full of shit. This guy,
right?
Like this is not the way,
right? I booked Ozark,
but
and I'm in The Irishman.
But the people there were great, and I met a lot of great people at the workshop, and there were really talented actors there. And one of the most traumatizing moments, I'll never forget it, is there was another girl who I said previously when she was audited, revealed that her dad had drug addiction.
Yes.
And I think her aunt had cancer.
Yeah. Okay.
I won't reveal who it is. But,
I know, but
yeah,
just.
But it's sad because that's really, really personal shit that doesn't have anything to do with
because that was in a
acting
classroom. This
performance.
is on YouTube.
Yeah,
I know, but
anyway.
Well,
it's really important because people need to know how fucking horrible this guy is.
Right.
So
and he's still kicking.
He's still running the workshop. He so he knows all this shit now. He probably has notes on every student.
Jesus.
And like the Church of Scientology.
He just blacklists you.
And literally,
yeah.
He so she, wasn't on her birth control or whatever medication she was taking, was throwing up like multiple times a day because of the diet, and like couldn't take it anymore. And she
There's
asked,
no fiber.
Yeah, she asked one of the supervisors, like,
protein.
"Can I go speak to Peter Sklar because like I want to leave?"
Right.
And so he's like, "You have to sit down with Peter," and he has to be like, he like crosses his legs and he like just looks at you super condescendingly, and he's like, "So tell me why you want to leave." And she explained, and she was like very emotional. She's in tears, and he basically told this girl to her face, if you leave right now and continue living the life that you're living and eating the food that you're eating, and he goes, you'll end up like a drug addict like your father, or you'll be a failed actress and get cancer like your aunt.
Oh my!
Said that to
God.
a young developing girl's face.
I want to beat this guy up.
And this guy's workshop is supposed to be about motivating actors,
right?
And so I hear about that shit, and I was like, I was furious,
right? How could you not?
And so I was like, fuck it, like if this girl's going, like I want to leave too, and And so
Big strike.
I had to go talk to him. I was like, it's not worth it to stay here. And so
What did he say to you?
So I went and I sat down.
You had to schedule a meeting with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Are you in a big office?
No, it's like in the middle of like the cafeteria.
Oh, and so everyone can hear this. Everyone's seeing it.
I mean, whoever's around walking around.
Oh, okay.
But nobody's standing around listening.
Right. I didn't know if this was taking place during lunch.
But it was not a private thing at all.
Right.
And so I sat down with him, and he was just like he's like no empathy for kids that are not having a good time or that want to leave.
Yeah.
Even though he already has their money.
Right.
And was like, he's like, so tell me why you want to leave. And I was like, I hate the way you run things here. I think the way you treat people is horrible. And this is not at all like a way for young actors to, hone their craft. It's not a good way to force children, on these certain ways. So he was like, all right. So he's like, let's call mommy and daddy and tell them you want to leave. And so I had to
mommy and daddy.
Yeah, that's how he talked to me.
Hey, so you want to call mommy and daddy?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I had to sit there and be on a phone call with him, listening to him talk to my parents. And so he's staring at me. He goes, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Manning. He's like, I'm sitting here with Keegan. He's telling me he wants to go home. And I forgot to add, while the phone was ringing, he was just like sitting there, and then he was like, and you said he's like, what do you want to do when you're older? And I was like I want to be an actor. So like, more than anything, I want to be an actor. And he's like,
yeah,
like laughed in my face.
You should have reached in your crotch and taken out a Vivint.
No,
where'd you get that?
But I've never had a man laugh in my face like a bitch,
like a villain.
Literally a villain. When I said I want to be an actor.
Right.
And so he's on the phone with my parents, and he's like, yeah, Keegan's here. He's telling me
your little actor's sitting with me.
That's his tone. He's like, he's telling me he wants to give up on this acting thing. He wants mommy and daddy to come pick him up and take him home. And I'm literally just like sitting there, just like giving him a death stare.
How could you not? I would literally hit this guy.
And so, I mean, that's
hit
just
him up with my phone number.
Yeah, that's the shit I had to deal with. And then the biggest scam of all, and this is pretty much the end of the story, but the workshop that we had all been working for. First of all, my parents couldn't come and pick me up because they weren't gonna drive all the way up to New York.
Right.
They were like, Keegan, like, just finish out the week. Like, I know it's rough. And I was like so pissed at them that they weren't gonna come and get me. And the girl that first complained, she couldn't be picked up either, so she had to just power through the rest of the week. So I was like, fuck.
Put on so much strap.
And he's like, yeah, so mommy and daddy aren't going to pick you up. You're going to stay the rest of the week.
Also, put me on the fucking phone with my parents.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Let me talk to them.
Yeah. So during a class, you're not allowed to leave the class, even if you have to go to the bathroom. But there was one teacher that was really lenient. He was like kind of old, so he didn't really get it. And I like begged him to go to the restroom. And so, but here's the thing. I didn't have to pee or poop. So
you little devil.
And we're still on like a college campus,
little
Rider
rebel
University.
rouser.
And there's other college students running around.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so, I run out of the room when he like lets me go to the bathroom. And I'm like, I like find a stranger. Like I'm like somebody that was like kidnapped.
Right,
and I'm
right.
like, I'm free. And I like begged a stranger to use his phone. And I had to call my parents, and this guy was like looking at me like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like crying, like on the phone with my parents. My parents were like, hello? I was like, Mom, like it's Keegan. Like I had to use some stranger's phone. Like it's horrible here. And I basically like quickly explained everything. And they still told me like, you have to stay. So
what?
But like that's the extent I had to go to just get in contact with my parents.
That's so dangerous.
So dangerous.
How can you do that to a kid?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
But the big showcase, our big monologue showcase, they kept us in a room where we couldn't see any of the agents or like.
What would happen if like you just were like, hey, like if you spoke out against Peter in front of everybody, or was just like mocking him in front of his face?
Like while I was there?
Yeah. Well, what do you think would have happened?
I probably would have gotten in serious trouble.
Like how? Like he would have just kicked you out.
I mean, he could. Yeah, I guess he.
That's all he can do, right? He can't like physically. If
Yeah.
he did, I mean, that's abuse. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they would probably have a supervisor drive me to a train station and make me pay for like a ticket to go home.
Good. I would have done that. Fuck that.
That's what I wish I could have done, but I
Yeah.
didn't have money or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I would. Yeah. I would.
Yeah.
I'd much rather been on the streets of New York City than
yeah.
in there. In a yeah.
But the final workshop, we aren't able to see anybody in the audience, any, casting agents, any of
It
the
just has
bullshit.
cardboard cutouts of celebrities.
He could have asked random people from the street, like, "Hey, just come in and fill the seats."
Hey, need $1?
And we're on stage thinking we're performing for people that like possibly want to sign us.
Exactly.
Nobody got any fucking
Wow.
recognition or any attention from anybody. And the Canadians that were there, they had to pay extra money. They paid $1,500 to go because 500 of that was like for the flight to New York.
Jesus.
And the thing was, the final showcase was at like 8 p.m. or something, and they had a flight to catch. All the Canadians did at 7, so they didn't even get to perform for anybody.
Wow.
So they pay more than everybody, and they had to. So they just performed their monologues just for like people in the workshop. And I was like, wait, they have to leave? Like what? Like what's the point of the workshop for them?
Right.
Because
it's fit. Yeah, obviously it's fit. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I mean that's essentially it. But I felt like I did good with my monologue, and it taught me a lot being there. It was like the worst week of my life.
Right.
But dude, I almost wish that I was famous so I could have a platform to just rip Peter Sklar apart.
Yeah.
Everybody
we
go
do now.
to Beginnings Workshop in Google and leave horrible fucking reviews. Because this guy's
call the police on Peter.
He's a fucking devil. He's a Scientologist.
Yeah.
That's why I don't fuck with anybody in Scientology. That's why I fucking hate Tom Cruise.
Fuck Tom Cruise. Fuck John Travolta.
Fuck John Travolta. But dude, if you look into the Church of Scientology, the things that they believe and their methods, it totally makes sense with the way he was running his workshop.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. I'm so glad I didn't go.
I'm glad you didn't go too.
I wanted to go so bad.
Yeah.
When we were like, he's so convinced. I mean, that's the thing. Power of persuasion.
And all of the people from my school that were there's only like 2 of us, me and the other girl, that asked to leave.
Right.
Everybody else got like emails from him about other like workshops and like classes you could attend. Me and the other girl never got sent anything else.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got blacklisted.
Good.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah. Fuck him.
Dude,
Jesus.
it scares the shit out of me, Scientologists. They're fucking scary. If you go on Hulu and watch,
because how do you get out of that? Like at
can't.
least with you, it was a week. But if you go like Tom Cruise, what if he really wants to leave Scientology?
He would never. He has everything he could ever want.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not go watch the new Top Gun movie.
Don't support anything Tom Cruise has ever done.
Is that his movie, Top Gun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a terrible fucking actor too.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Ugh. He always I've never been like, wow, that role was huge for Tom.
Yeah.
Tom killed that.
I'm like, wow, he's so versatile. No,
he's not.
He's
played the same character.
And people,
he's been in like 7 Mission Impossible movies.
He's a piece of shit, but I will say it's impressive how he does his own stunts.
Yes.
But he's a stunt actor. He's like Keanu Reeves.
Right.
I mean, Keanu Reeves.
At least Keanu Reeves. I mean, his stunts.
Keanu Reeves is
badass.
a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an incredible.
Like John Wick. Tom Cruise can never do that.
Yeah. At least not as well as Keanu Reeves.
No. Keanu Reeves. I mean, he knows martial arts.
Yeah.
I would love to see that fight.
I think Keanu Reeves is a shit actor. I know Lucas loves John Wick movies.
They're so funny. The third movie is so. Remember we went and saw that? We were high as shit. Yeah. And we saw John Wick 3. And we were
like, whoa.
We were like, we were just dying laughing. And everyone else in the theater was like, oh my God. They're like, and we were just like literally bursting out laughing at some of these scenes. Oh, they're so funny.
Jesus.
It's just so cut and dry, like the acting.
Who would you say are your top 3 favorite actors and top 3 least favorite actors working today? So your top 3 favorite first.
Okay. Top 3 favorite?
Yeah.
I adore Bill Murray. I love him. I just think he knows how to do comedy so well, and I think like that translates perfectly into all of his dramatic roles.
He's a legend. He's done so much.
So good. But I love him in all the Sofia Coppola movies, like
Mhm.
Lost in Translation. He's great in every single Wes Anderson film.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing. I love Lupita Nyong'o. I
Yeah.
think oh my God, 12 Years a Slave. Like,
Is she your favorite actress?
I think so. She's one of my favorite actresses.
Yeah.
Definitely her.
She should have been nominated for Us.
Yeah. How? Her, like, and that's the thing. The Academy doesn't take horror films.
There should be a horror category.
Yeah. Like, how did Ford v Ferrari get nominated over The Lighthouse?
Yeah.
How? I think The Lighthouse is better
Hereditary got no nominations.
Right.
Midsummer got no nominations.
Right. How?
They're like genre-bending music,
Yes.
like movies.
Yeah, it's crazy. Bill Murray, I would say Lupita. I would also say, I'm trying to think of like a recent film I watched that I was like, I love Casey Affleck.
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 Which actually brings us to our first sponsor of the day.
Affleck. He's great in Manchester by the Sea.
Terrific.
I love him. I just think he's so real. Very, very, very. He brings this realism to it, and it's not overdone. And I love his pacing. I love the way he delivers his lines.
Mhm.
I just think he's a beautiful actor. I think
Yeah.
he's so subtle on screen as well.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever overshadows anyone, especially in Manchester. Like, I think he just balanced so perfectly with Michelle Williams, and I thought the chemistry between him and Lucas Hedges was perfect.
Watching those scenes in Manchester by the Sea they're acting. I've never. That was the first movie I think where I just fell in love with that style of acting, of how real it is. The scene where he comes into the room and Casey Affleck is like laying on the bed and he asks if his girlfriend can sleep over.
Mm-hmm.
It was like watching real life.
Yeah.
Who
Literally.
are your top 3 least favorite actors?
Oh.
You better say Tom Cruise.
I don't know. I've never really thought about least favorite actors. I'm trying to think, because I feel like most of the films I watch, it's good acting.
Mm.
You know, some of the shows my mom watches are so bad. I think, Tom. I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan. I'm not a big Keanu Reeves fan. I don't know. I've never really thought about that. Yeah, worst act. What about you?
Tom Cruise, my least favorite.
Okay.
I think Keanu Reeves.
Where do you set
But I
that?
love Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
as a person. He's
Right.
so nice. He's just Hollywood nice guy.
Right, it's hard. Because most of the people in Hollywood, they have to have some level of talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe Noah Centineo.
Yeah. Yeah. He's boring.
Yeah.
He's all the movies just such a. They just cast him in the same shit.
I know.
It's so funny. I'm like, Kissing Booth. No way, he's not in that. But
He's not kissing?
no, he's in To All the Girls I Loved Before,
Right.
or All the Boys I Loved Before.
Yeah,
Whatever.
they made 2 of them.
Yeah, I was like,
We should
oh,
watch
God.
Kissing Booth on the podcast and make
They
fun
had
of it.
2 kissing booths. They
We should
made a
watch
second
both.
one. I was like, why?
That'd be
I was
so
like,
funny.
how did the ending of that movie in any way set up a sequel? Like, how were the producers like, yeah, we need a second one?
They're like, all right, that's a wrap, everybody. And they clap on set and they're like, we need to get back in the writer's room. We can pump 3 more.
Need another one. I don't think the full story was told in the first one.
But they also cater to an audience that is not us.
Yes.
And there are people that fucking cream their jeans over Noah Centineo.
Yeah. And I think, like, most of the bad actors I watch, I forget about them.
Yeah.
Because they don't stand out
Because
in my
they're
mind.
forgettable.
Exactly. And also, like, I don't remember their names because they're not, like, big names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My top 3 favorite actors,
Yeah.
number 1's always going to be Joaquin. I think Joaquin Phoenix can do literally anything.
Yeah, next he's decapitating himself. Just gonna cut his head off.
That'd be great. I'd
Yeah.
watch it.
It's his new movie.
He's gonna play Napoleon Bonaparte.
Bonaparte.
Bonaparte?
Yeah, Bonaparte. Your bones apart.
Rip your fucking bones apart.
Napoleon.
Napoleon. He's gonna kill it. It's gonna be like he's playing a villain again, like Gladiator.
He's playing Napoleon Dynamite.
He's incredible. Number 2 right now is probably Jake Gyllenhaal. I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes, Jakey.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
He's just fucking incredible. Prisoners, he blew me away. Nightcrawler blew me away.
Enemy, he blew me.
Okja blew me.
Give me a fat blow me.
And then number 3, has got to be my boy Shia LaBeouf.
Shyla.
Love Shia LaBeouf.
No actresses? You fucking bigot.
You want me to do top 3 favorite actresses?
Actors, I think of them both. I don't think it's a gender line.
You're right.
Yeah.
My
Anyone can be an actor.
top 3 favorite actresses: Lupita Nyong'o, Emma Stone,
I love Emma.
and Margot Robbie.
Love Margot. Love you, Margot.
Love you, Margot.
Watch this podcast, Marg.
Hey, Marg,
Margie?
Miss Robbie.
Shout out. Anyway. Yeah. We're going to get some actors on here.
That'd be great.
I've
We'll
said
get
it once.
some-
I said it twice. I'll say it again.
Say it thrice.
Is that Friths? What is for Frith?
Well, yeah. It's just 4 times.
Once, twice, thrice.
4 times.
4 times the charm.
They're like, we can't keep making little
All
fucking
right,
phrases.
Shut up.
Shut up about thrice.
How many times are you going to say it? Thrice is enough.
Yeah.
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 Check, Mike. Yeah. Podcast. Yeah.
Podcast flop sweat here. We were talking earlier.
Yeah, we were chit-chatting earlier.
We were having some chat chits, and
You were doing the chat, I was doing the chitting.
right, as always.
Yeah, typical.
Classic.
Classic Devin.
And we're having what I think is a really important conversation about the social acceptance of weed.
Were we?
Yeah. Was that you?
Wait, no, I thought that was...
I was me alone in the shower talking about it.
Oh, that was me on public transit. Yes, we did. Yes. No.
Because it's still frowned upon, especially from older adults, because...
I'm just imagine...
Mm.
Come on.
That's your frown sound?
Yeah.
Weed. Pot.
Oh, marijuana.
Yeah.
Oh, you smoking marijuana?
It's so weird because the older
Marijuana.
generation being exposed to, I'll use their lingo,
And
pot,
Yeah. And they were shooting crack up their arms.
is so different than our exposure now.
Shoot fucking crack up your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandmother has a funny cocaine story. But she was like 16 and her and her sister would go to New York, the city. The city. No, they would go to because they live like 30 minutes outside of New York City. They live in Connecticut. Shout out Connecticut. And so she went to a nightclub, and it was very common, like back in the 70s, it was very common to have like ecstasy. You could get ecstasy at the bar. You could say, hey, like I would like some ecstasy. It was very common. That shit was passed around.
1 ecstasy, please.
What's your ecstasy running at?
I get a side of fries and just
Can I
one
do the
ecstasy is fine.
cheeseburger
Should we
ecstasy
get some
shake.
ecstasy for the table?
Hey guys, do you want? No, I think it's just gonna be 1 tab.
I'll bring that right out. Everyone's just like tripping balls, like.
But she was like offered cocaine, and she's like, sure, yeah. And she like ripped a fat line in this like disco club, and she's like, whoa,
Jesus Christ!
And I was like, Grandma, and she's like,
Gammy.
Grammy. Her name is Laudes.
Laudes.
I can't roll my R's.
Sounds like
Laudes.
We'll work on it.
Yeah. But people like country people from Virginia, they're like, is it Lourdes? Lourdes? Lourdes.
Is Lourdes here?
We got a table for Lourdes.
Did she smoke a lot of weed?
No.
And she went
she's
right to coke?
heavily Republican. She was like talking to my mom yesterday because she was painting the hallway in her house, and she was like, Corona's a hoax. She's like, it's been inflated. She's like, they're telling lies, and I was like, oh no.
Oh, they're telling lies.
Yes,
but not about COVID.
Donald Trump is telling lies to protect because
it's what he does best.
Right. Anyway, I don't want to get into that because we're running on time. We're always running on time.
Yeah. What are we at?
Yeah.
45.
Okay. Nice. Anyway, yeah, it was just a funny story.
Yeah.
Because if you meet her, you met her. She was here.
Yeah, she's great.
Yes.
She's so sweet.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. One and only cook experience, but I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, that's scary. Stay away from the fucking powder.
Please, guys, don't gum it, don't shoot it.
But that's what we were saying. Like,
don't nose it.
Like,
right.
People can recreationally smoke weed and not ruin their life. People can smoke weed every day and still live normal lifestyles. Some people can't. Some people, it turns them into a vegetable.
Monster.
And they can't handle it. But again, that's what experimenting with drugs.
A demon vegetable.
At an early age, like 9. No, I'm just
vegetable
kidding.
with arms.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at what age would you say is a normal age to maybe start experimenting with
your consciousness, with drugs?
With, like, smoking weed, not drugs. But at least.
I guess, no, that's a drug, though.
Yeah.
Anything that alters, marijuana is a drug. It's not a harmful drug.
Yeah.
I mean, Advil's a drug.
Yeah.
Anyway, but, I would say like
16.
Yeah,
is that too young?
I would say like high school. Most kids start. I mean, some kids start in middle school. It's kind of crazy.
That's really crazy.
I would say high school though, like freshman year. That's when most kids start.
Yeah.
Sort of start getting into it.
Because before you go into college, it's going to be around you all the time.
Right.
And if you've never smoked before,
and it's so crazy how many adults do it. Like like it's so bizarre because before when I was doing it, I was like, "Ooh, like nobody does this, like except for kids." Like, we're all like, "Oh my god, this is, whatever," because it was very taboo. It was very under the radar.
Adults do it all the time. Your next door neighbor,
Lori,
she's a 65-year-old woman, lives alone,
wonderful woman,
super liberal.
Love
she
you, Lori.
Also, by the way, is going to be our first guest.
We're gonna try to get her on.
She's gonna be
very
great
soon. She's so funny. We love her.
But it's not a thing that should be looked at where like somebody who is a big weed head, stoner, whatever, should not
weed head.
That's my favorite term. It should not be looked down on.
Right.
Because
look at people who go to the bar every night.
Yeah.
And that's socially accepted. That's like, all right, like he's just getting a drink. Like what's the big
why is it a thing where could be underage drinking with my parents,
right? And
that's fine.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he's having a beer, like he's he's almost old enough, whatever, like it's fine, like you can have a beer in the house. But if I have, a joint or a blunt on the back porch, it's so frowned upon.
Right. My mom, thank God, and I love you, Mom. She's been fine with it for like almost 2 years now, and it's been great because I'm like I can smoke outside on the back porch, I can have people over. It's been very nice, yeah. But it's difficult because like having a little brother,
and
you
don't do it around him. You don't blow smoke in his face.
yeah. Come here, Andre. No, but I think like him being around it so much, I think because the reason why I wanted to do it so bad was because like I couldn't, you know what I mean? Like my mom's like, don't do drugs, don't do this. Like she made me like make a promise to her and shit, and it's like whatever.
Yeah.
And so that like as soon as you tell a kid no, they're gonna want to do it even more.
Right.
It's just the psychology of it. And so like me knowing, I'm like, why? What's so bad about it? Like, why can't I do it? Like, why can't I smoke? And doing it, you're like, oh my god, like this is amazing. Like, why would my mom hide this from me? And like, why is it so kept under wraps? Why are we locking this away and not talking about it more? And so I think like Honor being exposed to it at a younger age, because he's like 11 right now.
Yeah.
And he's around weed.
Not that he's going to get into it anytime soon. But it changes the stigma.
Right, exactly. And I think he sees me, my friends do it, and he's like, it's not for me. And he'll like make fun of me doing it, and he's like, ew, you stink.
Yeah.
And he's like, you smell like a skunk, because but that's the thing. And like, he's never seen me go crazy, like, because you don't go crazy on
You
it.
don't.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's just me and my friends chilling, and we will mess around with Andre,
Yeah.
and it's funny sometimes.
Because when we smoke, we use it for a more artistic outlet. We like to.
I
It
use
helps
it
us
to chill,
use it to
hang
chill,
out.
and
Like, I like to smoke after work sometimes.
it's just like alcohol. It's a social lubricant, like
Right.
we've said earlier. It's social lube, and it's
It's a hot bottle of KY social lube.
yep. Not that you can't sit around a table and just
Right.
be
Vibe
sober
and chat
and not smoke and enjoy the
and
conversation,
have
but
a nice little,
if it helps and doesn't ruin your life
yeah.
and doesn't drain your bank account, which is anher big
Yes.
issue.
And
Spend
to
your money
all the
wisely.
dealers out there, guys, think about lowering your rates.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. Like,
We're trying to have a good time.
I'm not fucking Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm not rolling in cash money.
right.
Give me some pot.
It's weed. It's not some exotic plant from some lab
Yeah.
that you confiscated.
This plant doesn't cure cancer.
Yo, this that exotic shit. No,
Yeah.
it's not.
This straight from Cali, bro. I know you got it from here. Come on.
But if we can use it and
Don't play with me.
use it responsibly to whether help us write, whether we want to write stand-up comedy
Whether
or
we're first responders,
yeah,
whether who knows what we're gonna
Yeah.
be doing, you know? So yeah.
then why not use it responsibly? And if we're using it responsibly,
Why not use it irresponsibly?
why look at it as a bad thing?
Why not spark a J and a DMV?
And it brings people together. It's literally
Together.
together.
That's how I always used to remember how to spell together. Cause like, how do I spell it? And
To
I was
get
like,
her.
To get her. To go get her.
It's good.
To get her. Anyway,
Anyways,
but yeah, no. It's just crazy because it's like your parents grew up in the 70s and weed was so demonized. It was very racially demonized, you know. They made a ton of films that came out in the early like 50s. And it was like, don't let your kids smoke weed because black people do it. And, you know, look at all the crime that they commit.
that's
and
fucking
look at
horrible.
right? And I mean, even right now, still, the amount of white and black people who smoke weed is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It's equal, pretty much.
I'm sure that there are statistics that would show, you know,
Right.
one race smoking more than another.
Which is
But-
pretty much everyone all like
But can you
everyone
believe
does-
those
No.
statistics? Like,
Like, I am not going to be convinced that more black people smoke weed than white
and
people.
black people get incarcerated for
way more
possession charges.
over 60% more than white people.
exactly the amount of people that are still in prison for small marijuana possession charges
Right.
compared to the amount of
Small misdemeanor crimes.
the amount of white people that own
Right.
weed
The amount
dispensaries
of
like an Apple store.
The amount of times we've been caught with weed and they just let us go. If we were any other race,
If that doesn't scream white privilege,
right,
I don't know what does.
Yeah, it would have been game fucking over. Like if I had been, yeah.
all right, you boys, like, just be smarter than this,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you, I'll let you on your way.
Learn your
but,
lesson, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, give me the weed. If I were black, it would have been, all right, get on the fucking ground.
exactly.
Like, get the fuck out of the car.
It's fucking horrible.
It is. It's disgusting. And just how, like, it's a plant. And if everyone's using it, why are we targeting one group of people for using it? And if it is that bad, why are we not incarcerating everybody for it? Because it's not bad. And it's like we have this, you know, racial, systemic, and prejudice against it, you know? And a lot of the people, like, definitely during the early 50s, we learned that hemp is a wonder plant.
Right.
It's twice as durable as plywood. It grows way faster than trees. If you have a whole hemp farm, imagine the amount of trees you would save. Deforestation would be down so much.
Dozens.
Hemp, that's what was putting the paper company out of business in the early 50s.
Hemp paper,
Yeah, hemp paper. And it's so much
saving
cheaper.
the plastic industry.
Yes, it's so much cheaper to produce. And so that's why a lot of big, you know, newspapers were in the 50s demonizing weed, like the Washington Post, like the New York Times, like all these big, you know, newspaper companies, because they were losing business because they use primarily paper, and
Yeah.
hemp was, threatening that. And so, of course, they're going to use their power of persuasion because they control what people hear. They control what people see.
Yeah.
And so, it's just a disgusting abuse of that power. Like, pretty much like what Peter Sklar did, It's
Mhm.
like manipulating the population.
Right. And we're just working on
Right.
changing the stigma. And I think
Right. And we
in
will.
20, 30 years, kids who are young now, when they're adults, they're not going to look at it like how
Right.
adults now look at
Right.
it. I mean, that's
Right.
obvious, but and
No, and I think the future of drugs it's getting there's a bright future for it.
yeah,
And not just recreational drugs, but
the war on drugs winning.
yeah, drugs are winning. You
Yeah.
can't have a war on drugs. And it costed us trillions of dollars.
Not to ignore the amount of
No, but you
heroin epidemics that
right.
that pop up all over the place, and the amount of people that
But
still
locking
deal
up
with that.
heroin addicts and dumping trillions of dollars into chasing down people in Mexico and chasing down, the dealers and the suppliers of it, that is not changing anything.
We're fighting the problem
Right.
the wrong way.
It is if you clean it's if you get the users clean, then there will be less of a demand for it,
Right.
which will then in turn put those suppliers out of business.
I mean, we could go into it for so long.
Yeah,
And
we could.
It
we
goes
could.
into the issue on homelessness and
Right.
how the amount of homeless
Right.
people that are addicted to heroin
Yes.
don't go into homeless shelters because these homeless shelters don't allow you to shoot up. So
Right.
they stay on the
have you
streets so
heard
that they
of-
can get high.
Have you heard of safe injection sites?
No.
So these are basically facilities that allow people with problems like that, homeless people, to come. They get clean needles. They basically administer the heroin for them, make sure that they're doing it properly and safely. Because, for example, a lot of places in New York, Philadelphia, big heroin cities, are trying this out. And they've noticed that over a year period, and just in a few places in New York, I believe Queens and Brooklyn, they were doing it. And the study came back, they saved $10 million in
Wow.
healthcare. Because imagine this, imagine the amount of people ODing on it and having to come in, and then you have to resuscitate them in the hospital. These homeless people can't afford the hospital bill. Also, the amount of people who get AIDS from it because they're using dirty needles and they're sharing the needles. Like, it is so much cheaper to... Because they're going to keep doing, even if they OD, even if they get AIDS, they're still going to continue to do that. And if you give them a safe place, give them safe, clean needles, and
That's interesting.
yes, it is bad, and yes, maybe that's morally wrong, but there are on-site therapists at the safe injection sites. There are on-site doctors who are trained. They have information about getting clean. They have
It's people that listen to experts and
right,
statistics.
right.
Yeah.
And they're seeing that when people come into the safe injection sites, they're more likely to discuss why they do it. They're more likely to find a route to get help
Mhm.
for it because they're getting information on it. And when you are less informed about what you're doing to your body, you're not going to really care because it's like, oh, fuck it, I just want to get high.
Yeah.
So
And that's probably, it helps them get to the root of their problem.
right,
And
right.
when you
right.
find the root of your problem,
and
that's
and you can get them into a
First step of
rehab
working toward it.
facility.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm all for safe injection sites, and I think there needs to be a few more. There's still extensive studies that need to be done on it, but
Mm.
I believe there is a bright future for that as well, and I think it looks very promising, at least in the places where they've done it, like New York and
that's a very
Philadelphia.
interesting point.
I know Los Angeles is they're starting, especially they're so progressive.
Yeah.
So it's great. Yeah. But yeah. So
Where do you think we're gonna be in like 10 years? I mean, me and you, Devin Gatto and Keegan Manning. Like,
I hope to be in another country.
which country?
I don't know. Anywhere. Yeah. Secret treasures. That's the name of your slippers.
Is that what it says?
Yeah. These are beautiful. Where'd you get these? These are gorgeous. May I?
Yeah.
May I? Yeah, perfect. Just for our YouTube viewers, these are... Wow. Dude, who's your cobbler?
Dude, I
Who
run
stitched-
marathons in these things.
I'm booking like 24 miles maybe in these.
No, my dad, I think my mom got them for my dad as a joke, and he put them on like the stairs to the attic because
he
he's not
frames
gonna.
them.
Yeah. I was like, let me cop these.
Let me cop
These shits are fresh.
Right? How could you not want these? Fucking Ken.
Sorry, I didn't mean
Sorry,
to.
Ken. No, I'm not mad at you.
I don't even know if these are his.
They're great slippers. It's hard to find a quality pair of Kenton unicorn slippers.
I know. I
these
used to have
days.
moccasins.
Water moccasins?
No.
You used to have a twin set of water moccasins.
I didn't mean to get us off topic with my slippers. It was a big distraction.
Yeah, it is. Thanks.
Where do you think we'll be in 10 years?
I have no idea. Maybe dead.
Like, in 10 years, it's safe to say we'll have kids. You think you'll have kids in your 20s? You think you'll be married?
I don't know. I want to have kids in my 30s. I want to have kids later in life. I want my 20s to be, I just feel like hopefully I'll be so engrossed in my career.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have kids during that. Because, the thing about kids is like it's so much time, so time consuming.
What do you hope to achieve in
10 years?
Yeah, what do you hope to have solidified in your life?
I would like to have at least one comedy special.
Okay.
I would like to have at least one feature film.
Nice.
I would like to be in at least one Broadway show. And maybe I would like to... I'm not too set on a house. I'm not too set on like anything like that, but more creative. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like the podcast to be at a good, stable position.
Yeah. I hope to God we're still doing this thing in 10 years.
10 years. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to travel a lot. I want to see a lot of things. There's still a lot of things I want to do. Maybe meet a nice gal.
That'll be nice. I can't wait to see
pop a ring on her finger.
Who you end up being with. She's gonna be quite an interesting gal.
J-Law.
Are you going for Jennifer Lawrence?
No, I would never.
She'd like you.
She would be my best man.
My best man is gonna be Danny DeVito.
I hope he's not dead in 10 years.
Then I won't get married.
Yeah, me neither. Fuck it. He was gonna annul my marriage.
But whatever.
And he was gonna marry me. He was gonna be my priest.
I hope to have like stability.
Good.
Yeah.
That's it?
And happiness.
Nice.
And money.
Look at you.
And power.
And a fuck ton of money. And piles of gold bars.
Yeah.
And a private jet.
And a treasure chest.
Where I can fuck hot babes on it all night and just spread my semen on the seats.
Jesus.
On the hot leather seats. My private jet.
My God.
Fly around, do barrel rolls.
I want to be in the Mile High Club.
I want my own champagne company.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
I want to own a comedy club.
God. Give it up, Keegan. Put it to rest.
Give up on your dreams, Keegan.
You tried. The economy's failing. Nobody wants comedy. Nobody thinks it's funny anymore.
God,
what if comedy goes out of business? It never will. And that's where we end the shit now. But
yeah.
Yeah, God.
Fuck.
That'll be a dark day in history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But comedy will always be a thing.
Comedy will always be a thing.
Yeah.
And we'll take on new forms of comedy.
I mean, look at the comedy that was inspired by Hitler, one of the darkest men.
Hitler, one of the greatest stand-up comics to ever live.
Literally forced to be reckoned with on the stage. He was a whirling dervish.
Never did a set that wasn't killer.
He blew my fucking socks off.
Yeah.
And then he put them back on.
I mean, he killed.
He really killed.
And
he got people to kill. He knew how to turn a crowd and just flip it on their heads.
I mean, people took trains to see him.
People took
so bad.
Planes to see him.
How do we get into Holocaust jokes from this?
I don't think we made any Holocaust jokes. Not about we made Hitler jokes. Who started the Holocaust.
Yeah.
But don't overstep the line, Keegan. Because we're on air. And people are listening. And we're not going to edit any of this.
Isn't there a rule like 10 years after the fact you can like make jokes about it? Or like 20 years after the fact?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So 9/11 jokes should be rolling out right now.
Yeah, like come
hot on the train.
Hear them. Let's hear them.
Guys,
send
Jesus. Them in. It's been fucking 10 years next year.
Like, we haven't forgotten, but like,
gone but never forgotten. So
Yeah.
like, did you hear the thing where Trump was saying like Obama got like hired an actor? Wait, did you hear this? So he was saying, this was on like, I heard it on NPR, C-SPAN, a few other channels. Like everybody was talking about it.
Yeah.
But Trump said in a statement that he believed the Obama administration hired an actor and got SEAL Team 6 to kill them and then pass it off as Osama bin Laden's body. And like they never actually caught Osama bin Laden.
That's a big claim
I was
from
like-
the leader of the
yeah,
free
I was
nation.
like, how in the... I was like, no. But what if? Dude, what if? What if Osama's still out there? And he's
Streaming on Twitch.
he's pissed that Trump said that.
Yeah.
He gets
Fuck, he's on me.
shit. Changes his identity.
He's a genius. How do you know?
This guy's a genius. Of course he's president.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Osama's dead.
He's long dead.
Yeah.
Long gone.
Didn't we try to like find his body in the ocean?
Or I thought we dumped his body in the ocean.
We did, yeah. Has anyone gone to retrieve it?
That's so disrespectful.
No.
But you know what else was disrespectful? 9/11.
Yeah.
So rude.
Taking our planes and doing what he wants with them.
Ugh.
Flying in unrestricted airspace.
Yeah.
Jesus, what an asshole. I bet TSA was going nuts.
What about... He's such a... And excuse my language, but he's a douche.
And I'm sorry to everyone who likes him, but...
But he's a douche. I'm sorry.
He's a douche canoe. I mean, he's a fucking dick.
What do you want me to say?
What do you want me to say about Bin Laden?
Mm.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, he's pretty mean.
Yeah, he was really mean. Great lover, though.
Like, boy, could he fuck. He worked hard and he fucked hard.
God. he was a student under Gandhi's teachings.
Really?
Little known fact.
Hmm.
That's why it's little known.
So controversial.
I know.
Yeah.
It's very controversial.
People don't want to accept it, but...
He is. I guess he found something in Gandhi's words and it really sparked him up.
He's like, fuck it, let's attack America.
Got his balls tingling and... I gotta feel this tingle in my balls. Let's do it,
I've got
man.
an idea.
I got a fucking crazy plan.
Hmm.
Osama, whoa.
So I'm starting a group.
We're gonna call ourselves the Taliban.
The Taliban.
Captain of the Taliban.
I'm holding auditions.
If you guys want to come, it's gonna be from 8 to 10.
Only requirement is you have to hate America.
And love bitches.
And love fucking.
And love pussy.
Jesus.
Staples flyers everywhere.
Yeah.
Osama.
Hear ye.
So, I got your flyer. I really like what you're saying. I
Is
love
this the
pussy.
Taliban audition? Yeah, come in, Ren.
Yeah, no. We're holding it right now. Come on, you're not too late. So, why do you think you'd be good in the Taliban?
Because I want to die.
Perfect. No, he's in.
All right.
Elaborate.
All right. And do you have any credentials?
Maybe some background.
Any flying experience?
So we're primarily looking for pilots.
So it's going to be a one-day shoot.
We could start you out at $12.50 an hour. And we're just gonna be pretty much running through the basics. That's horrible.
So bad.
We're awful people. We're gonna burn in hell with Osama.
Yeah. We're gonna get to heaven and God's gonna be like, up.
But
I watched your 4th episode of Flop Sweat, and you guys made some jokes that I didn't really appreciate.
Lucifer showed me.
Got an email from Lucifer, actually.
I got a hot email in my inbox from Luce, and
let me tell you, I'm not happy.
I'm pissed.
So boys, come with me. We gotta have a talk.
Can you sit down real quick?
What if that was when you get to the pearly gates?
Yeah.
Like God's like a principal. It makes you feel. He's like, yeah. Can I grab him for a sec? Yeah. You can get. Yeah. Bring your backpack.
Is he in the hall? Okay. Yeah. No. Let me get.
Can I talk to you for a second? Cool.
Hey, you want to step in my office?
Hey, Mr. Jones, can I steal Keegan for you? Can Can I steal Keegan from you for a second? Yeah, cool.
Miss Smith, can you shut the door behind us? Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
No, yeah, you can bring your backpack.
No, it's gonna be real quick. Just bring your stuff.
No, yeah, you're going to hell.
So listen, it's hell.
I'm gonna cut to the chase. You're going to hell. You didn't pass my tests.
Listen.
You barely prayed,
We flipped through the transcripts. We know what you did.
and you didn't even try.
You didn't give a damn. Look at your test scores.
I feel like all the popes are in heaven, like behind God, when he's telling people like you can't come in, and they're just like,
Motherfucker.
"We fucking made it."
We fucking did it. And we fuck little boys.
Oh,
But it's true.
they do.
They do. They diddle.
They diddle dally.
They diddle dally all over their little diddle dicks. All over their Boy Scout ass.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Have you seen Doubt?
Mm-mm.
Philip Seymour
Yeah?
Hoffman. He plays a Catholic priest.
And he
who-
diddles.
And he diddles.
Oof.
He plays the fiddle and he diddles.
Oh, he plays the fiddle. All right.
But he can diddle some boys.
Jesus, so gross.
No. It's a great movie though. I think literally everyone in that movie got nominated for an Oscar. It's Philip Seymour Hoffman, Meryl Streep, Amy Adams.
Wow.
And Viola Davis.
Wow.
I know. It's a killer cast.
Wow.
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 Wally?
Wally.
Wally.
Devin, what's your guilty pleasure? Like, what's something where you're like, okay, like, yes, like, I like love watching, like, I love doing this, like,
I don't know. I don't want. I wouldn't say it's a guilty pleasure, but it's more like I'll occasionally like. It's just kind of a secret. I'm not like, oh yes, I love doing it.
yeah.
It's like I just do it. I'll eat my boogers. Like not often, not all the time.
It's protein. It's gross,
but like if there's a fat fucking booger and I claw that baby out of my bat cave, you bet your ass it's
you
going.
do all that work digging for gold and you're just gonna flick it?
Yeah, you're just gonna wipe it. Nah, it's going right in my pie hole.
Yum, 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 yum.
It's gonna get stuck in my gums.
Going right back in there.
Yeah, no, but yeah, that also another, I don't know, guilty pleasure. I wouldn't say it's a guilty pleasure, but I've always wanted to, like, you know when you're a little kid and he's all like pooping the toilet. It always looked like Play-Doh to me, and I'm like, oh,
No,
I was like, I've never touched poop before ever. Like poop grosses me out, but I've always been like,
You've never got poop on your finger accidentally while wiping?
Ew, no. I like make sure I take the toilet paper and I fold it so that way it's like
Fold it around your hand like a mummy, just fist your ass.
I want a bidet so that way I don't even have to wipe my butt anymore.
Yeah.
But I've always wondered what, like, I want to like, oh, is poop like, what does it feel like? Yeah. Yeah. It probably feels the way I expect it. It probably feels gross.
Yeah, you're not gonna
Yeah.
mush into it with your hands and be like, oh, you're gonna be like,
Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
Oh, I would fuck.
Ew.
How
Have you
many
seen
people
those
listening
porn
are just-
videos where it's like
No.
people rubbing shit all over themselves?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. It's gross.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
That's so disgusting. How
You
many
kinda
listeners
just-
right now? I have to just turn this off because
Yeah.
Osama bin Laden, Hitler,
Odell Beckham Jr.
yes,
Yes, we were talking about that. He loves poop. Like it turns him on.
big poop guy.
Is he?
He plays for the Browns.
Yeah, he loves shit.
Does he love shitting on?
He loves girls shitting on him and like getting
And
shit
you know,
on.
you know what that's called?
What?
A Cleveland steamer.
Oh yeah,
And he plays for the Cleveland Browns.
a hot Cleveland Browns steamer.
It almost makes too much sense.
It does. It's almost a little too on the nose. Yeah, but I know. I'm like, Odell.
Why is that not a bigger story?
Right? Why isn't that not like?
His
Yes,
teammates
I
have to
know.
look at him
I know.
differently.
COVID is but that should be like a fucking New York Times headline. Odell Beckham Jr. loves getting shit on.
Big poop guy. OBJ.
OBJ loves
Take him off your fantasy roster because
loves hot logs.
loves some hot Lincoln logs on his chest.
Loves loves getting those hot snakes.
Ew, ew, ew.
A cow disc.
If you've got the runs, you're 10 times more attractive in his eyes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Guilty pleasures. I don't
Mine,
know.
I was gonna say like I love watching Fortnite videos,
Okay, yeah.
which is super stupid. Like
yeah.
I used to be really into playing Fortnite. I never played anymore
Right.
because I suck. But like for some reason, I still follow like
See, but I don't feel
streamer
guilty
beef.
about. I don't feel guilty about that. It's not like guilty. Like
But I mean,
that's not something I hide from people.
no,
I hide my boogers from people.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say I eat like graham cracker cereal, which some people think is weird and
Yeah.
gross.
I don't think about
'Cause it's
other-
mushy.
Mushy. Another guilty. I like lying to people sometimes. Yeah. Like
That's a really toxic habit.
No. It's not like that. It's like I like lying to strangers and like
Oh, okay.
white lies. It's just like, how was your day? And I'm
Like-
like, I just won like a ton of money. Like I'm doing fucking great.
Oh,
Yeah. And it's just like something that I like doing.
is that a white lie? What's a white lie?
It's just a little lie. It's not like anything that would like change the course of someone's life or like give them PTSD.
I feel like that's a harmless lie because you're doing that for like a comedic
Right.
purpose. Like you're
right.
just doing a bit of like the stranger doesn't need to know what I'm really
Right,
like, so I can
right.
be like, yeah, you know, I used
Yeah.
to like I used to be a millionaire, but I
Right.
blew all my money in
Or
Vegas.
like, how's your day? And they're like, I just put my horse down, so
Yeah.
it's not good.
They're like, oh my god,
I had to go to the stables and
I had to shoot him in the mouth.
had to take my 12 gauge and pump a round into his fucking mouth.
But I'm doing all right. And
But here's your food. Yeah.
a waiter,
Here's your steak, asshole.
here's your horse meat that you ordered.
Here's your horse dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just like little lies like that. It's kind of like my guilty pleasure because I'm like, like they don't know.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, I guess it doesn't matter because like nobody
Yeah.
will know. Yeah.
So boogers and lying.
Boogers and lying.
For me, it's Fortnite and graham
Fortnite.
cracker cereal.
So like, if people found out that you like streams and like watching that, you'd be like,
I'd be like, oh my god, like
shut the fuck up! It's not me.
Who told you that?
Where'd you get your information?
No, but yeah, I'll watch like 20-minute clips of like 14-year-olds like yelling at each other playing Fortnite. I'm like I don't know why I'm so entertained by it.
I guess another guilty pleasure of mine that I don't like sharing. I love watching tech reviews. Like every time a new phone comes out, I love watching videos on it.
Such a geek.
I know. And every time a new laptop, I love watching it because I just want to know everything about it. And I'm like, oh, like
My guilty pleasure is I just love knowledge and I love
I love
learning.
reading
I love learning and reading and
and coming in my books.
coming in your books.
I don't come in my books. Have you seen The Squid and the Whale?
No.
Jesse Eisenberg is in that. It's
Mm-mm.
Noah Baumbach, but there's a scene where he like jerks off in his pants, and his hand is like covered in cum, and he like wipes it all over these books and on his dad's
Ew.
like bookcase, and I was like, what the fuck?
We could have done the whole podcast and not talked about that.
It's a great scene though.
That's where I draw the line.
It's powerful.
And I'd be fine if my mom doesn't listen to this podcast about
I'm
us
sorry, Mary.
mushing poop and
Cum.
wiping coom.
Yeah. Hot, steamy loads
Cum.
of semen.
Jesus. We're gonna have a very interesting group of
Pumping out
listeners.
pumping out globs of semen.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
That's enough.
All right.
Yeah, no, but those are just some guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
Come and poop. I think there's a lot of people's guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
Also, when you have a good poop, oh my god.
Brightens your day.
I'm like-
You're like, I just lost 3 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't even need to work
When
out.
you've been holding a poop for like 2 hours, holy shit.
2 weeks even?
2 months.
My God. I feel like your bowels would explode if you don't poop for 2 months.
That was on have you seen The Amazing Burt Wonderstone?
No.
Steve Carell and Jim Carrey. It's a movie. They play magicians, and Steve Carell, he's this like. Jim Carrey is like a Chris Angel type magician. He's like a street magician.
Yeah.
And Steve Carell is like this big, like, David Blaine, or not that, I mean, like a big David Copperfield type. Like he does all the big venues and like all that stuff. And they get into a competition where like who can do the craziest magic tricks, basically. And I think Jim Carrey's character, he like held his poop for like like 3 weeks or something, and he was locked in this box, like, and it was him, like, it was so funny though.
You just had to let it go.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I know. It's hilarious. We should watch that movie. It's so
Yeah, we
funny.
should. Speaking of poop and potty, I think that this has been a rockin' potty.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been a solid potty. Great cast.
Great cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're right at the dead off.
Cool.
Dead off, cut off.
Yeah, sorry, we got a little bit graphic
Yeah,
there. But,
sorry for...
we talked about what's important to us.
Right.
Yeah.
And we discussed the things that nobody else is talking about.
Yeah,
we got our hands dirty, and we plunged it into the filth for you guys.
Yeah.
Because we're your Dark Knight.
Right.
And we're not afraid to take the heat for the city.
And we'll say what the media won't say.
And we'll say what Gotham is hiding.
Which is the truth.
Justice. Oh, yeah, truth. Yeah.
Yeah, justice.
And Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
And
Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent. I took Harvey Dent. Yeah. All right, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, thank you guys for
It was
listening. This
great.
has been our
Doing this with you, man?
yeah, you just walk away.
Let's get up.
All right, bye.
All right.
This has been the Flop Sweat podcast. I'm Devin Gatto.
And I'm Keegan Manning.
All right, thank you guys for listening.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, Vietnam.
Or good night, morning.
All right, bye. Thank you.
Bye.
And thanks again once for listening.
And we love you.
Yeah.
And we'll fucking see you next week.
Yeah, and I'd kiss you if I knew you were listening, because that's how much I appreciate it.
And I'm going to plant my lips on the screen.
Yeah.
All right. We're done.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks.